Hey there.
Hey.
What you doing here?
Waiting.
Just waiting?
Hope
Waiting for people?
come, yeah.
What are you going to do when they get here?
Gonna weigh the kids, measure them, and then have them take a video and say what they like and where they live, and make sure they're safe when they leave.
Excellent. Good job. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
How old is Allison? 8? Emma's 8. You know?
Say hi, guys.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
Good.
What you doing here today?
Hanging out.
Excellent.
We're getting a tan.
Beautiful.
Nice camera.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun. So, what do you do at Taekwondo? Do you kick this guy?
We're here today to talk to kids about the benefits of Taekwondo and discipline and respect and focus. And it's kind of a secret weapon for a lot of different kids for balance and coordination and other sports. So it's a lot of benefits. So we're hoping to share that with as many parents and kids as we can today.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks again for being here.
Absolutely.
Generate a sense of community. So when you ask, are we
And you are male, so I'm the sex. Okay, now grandma in the house.
City of Beaverton.
She might be on the letter.
You want to tell us about the Aloha Business Association?
Not really. No.
Is it live?
Yeah. Pam, tell me about Time Ferry.
Tell me about Time Ferry.
Well, the Time Ferry transforms your to-dos to done. I do personal errands and business errands and services for people, and I also do pet sitting. We also do house sitting. What else do we do?
Errands and
Errands,
airport runs.
yeah, airport runs. You name it. If it's on your list of things you don't want to do, I'm there for you.
Excellent. Good sales pitch.
Good, really.
What about Agape? What would Agape do?
Agape Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency, and we represent 3 major companies at this time: Progressive, Safeco, and Travelers. And we love working with people that have problems with their driving record and try to encourage them to clean it up and get better prices, and encourage people to watch their credit scores and just help families in need as far as getting a better price for their insurance product.
Where are you located at?
We are located at 6079 Southwest 185th Avenue in Aloha, on the corner of 185th and Farmington, in the Farmington Village shopping center.
Is that right by Albertsons?
It is, right next door to Miller Paint, in between Miller Paint and the Monkey Subs and the barbershop.
There's a big sign that says insurance above your shop, right?
There is.
Wow. People should look for that.
They should.
I have to get him to do my marketing.
I know. Your turn,
I'm in
girl.
the wrong business.
Tell me about Edward Jones.
He died.
Okay. And are you...
We're sending that to corporate headquarters.
It's a good one-liner. Did you have anything to do with the death?
Tired.
Did you have
She's had a lot of stress.
I'm going to give you a minute to compose yourself, and I'll be back shortly.
Can you come back to Karen?
Do you want to tell me about Curves?
Sure. Oh no. Yes, Curves is a facility designed specifically for women. Wait a second. Where's this gonna go?
Nowhere in particular. Maybe on the Facebook page for the library.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Curves is a facility designed specifically for women, and it includes diet, exercise, motivation. Can you come back to me?
Yeah. I'll let you think about it. We'll scratch that.
Scratch all of that. Do you know where Doug is?
No. The last time I saw Doug, he was out here. I'd check inside. No, he was inside seconds ago. There he is.
Oh.
What do we win?
Win a prize, but you have to answer a question.
Okay.
You got plenty
Well
of
then,
time.
I'll do that on camera. What's my question?
What did you land on there? What do
Roadway
we got?
safety.
Roadway safety. All right. Let me give you a tough one here. If you're driving and you see an emergency vehicle stopped on the side of the road with its lights on, what should you do?
I should immediately and gently ease off to the right and let the vehicle pass.
Yes, if they are coming in from behind you. But let's say they're off to the side of the road. Maybe they've got someone pulled over, or they're responding to an incident on the side of the road.
And they're stopped on the right-hand side of the road and
Yeah.
to their left?
Yeah.
Then what I should do is slow to 25 miles per hour and try to ease to the opposing lane to give them as much space as possible.
Very good.
Thank you.
You won a prize.
What do I get?
We've got some blinkers that you can adhere.
Like that?
Perfect. You've got one. And we've got some reflective stickers that you can adhere to your helmet.
Excellent.
Your bike helmet. And then anything else you'd like.
Cool. One of everything.
One of everything. Go for it.
Excellent. So, do you work for the sheriff's office?
No, I actually work over in land use and transportation.
LUT.
Yeah.
So, how do you like working with Andrew Singalakis?
I love it. It's great.
Did I pronounce his name correctly?
You did.
Really?
You did.
How long has he been there?
Has he been there?
Yeah.
He's been there for a couple years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's great.
Excellent. So, what is your job at LUT?
I'm a program educator over in the engineering and construction services division.
Okay. Okay, so you're kind of at work right now.
Kind of, yes.
Kind of. Excellent. So, who would you talk to in the day's work?
Who would I talk to?
Yeah, like
I pretty
contractors, the public.
do all the public outreach. So I'm talking to a lot of the citizens out there that are impacted by any of our capital projects or any kind of traffic engineering related traffic signal questions or inquiries, stuff like that. So.
You ever been to a CPO meeting?
Yes.
Excellent. Which ones?
I believe I've been to CPO 7, and then of course I've been to some of the city. They have citizen involvement organizations too. Went to one out in Beaverton, and so yeah, try and stay involved as much as I can.
Excellent. You should come to CPO 6. I chair CPO 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sold it to the car wash, and I didn't have much time to try to figure out a place to move the building to, so it ended up getting demolished. But now we have Bales Thriftway, or not Bales Thriftway, we have Bales Valley's building, which would be perfect for that. So again, here's an opportunity for us as a community to look at this property as a possible future community center for our children and for the library and for possible yoga classes for the elderly. We could have elderly come and mentor our children. So again, we've got an opportunity. I don't know where it's going to go, but
So you said yogurt classes. You're going to teach
yoga for the elderly. I mean, it can be for anybody.
Really?
You know, it can be anything.
Is that where you eat yogurt
We
slowly?
could
Yes.
have
Eat
Stretch
yogurt
it.
and do yoga.
we could have a yogurt
A yoga-yurt.
sale there as well.
Excellent.
We could do whatever we want in there.
That's,
But it's got the gym, you know, it's got the gymnasium. And the
we could
kids
work
can-
off all the fat we put on from eating high-fat
Absolutely.
yogurt.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, it would be sugar-free.
Sugar-free. Excellent.
Yeah.
I like that.
Only in Aloha.
Yeah, I like that. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
You ready?
I think so.
Tell me a story.
Okay.
Tell me about Curves.
I would love to tell you about Curves. Curves is a gym designed specifically for women, and it offers a total body workout in just 30 minutes. You can come in and get strength training, cardio, your warm-up, your cool down, and stretching in just 30 minutes. We also feature the only weight loss program that includes diet, exercise, and motivation all in one place. And our mission is strengthening women, so we would love to have you come in to get stronger today.
Well, I'm a woman and I should get stronger.
I know, exactly, right?
That was a good sales pitch.
Thanks, I've been working on it all day. And I had to hold my sign so it wouldn't fall.
Beautiful. So, point that literature up at
Yeah.
Excellent. I can pull a still of that. Good job.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
See what a little preparation does?
It helps.
Exactly.
There's the old Hillsborough Highway, and you may remember that from growing up.
Oh, we wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, under the right conditions, I
Well,
guess.
you know, if time served.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then we also have our cutout of our canine deputy that you can put
Oh,
your face
show
on.
me. Come on. You can be
hold the
deputy.
camera so
You opened your mouth. I'm putting you to work.
have her hold the camera so you can get behind
Oh, okay, we'll trade. Excellent. Oh, all right.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Just point.
Okay, just point.
Now you don't have to stand on the pool there.
Very nice.
Excellent. Beautiful. All right, you guys just made a positive media impact.
There you go. You can just keep one person out of jail.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. At least one.
Well, you kind of need a few people in there to keep the place working.
Busy?
But on the other hand, you guys are doing a great job with forced releases. I think the community's been a little bit better behaved, but we haven't had the forced releases
We
like
haven't
we've
had
had in
them
the
like
past.
we used to have, no.
Mhm.
Since we started doing that early case resolution where we work with the DA's office and parole
ECR?
and probation,
Mhm.
we cut back the early or the having people get out early.
Well, I think we should take those big vans and instead of having work crews, I think we ought to make the perps stay up to like 3, 4 in the morning, do drunk runs, and load the bars out into those vans and have the perps drive them home.
Well, I don't know if you really want inmates driving county vehicles around.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
We could use it for something else, though, for another kind of sting. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what we get.
That's
it's
right.
a strange place.
It
Well,
is.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you around.
See you around, Eric. Take care.
You want to tell me something?
Sure, what do you want to know?
I want you to tell me about your business.
Okay, we're Sun Connections Travel and Cruises. We're located in downtown Beaverton in the old Social Security Administration building, right on 2nd and Lombard.
Really?
We offer a great layaway program. We can service any kind of travel, dream, need, desire that you have.
Fantastic. Is there any part of the world you won't sell me a ticket to get to?
No, we will sell you anywhere you would like to go.
Really? Even like Virgin Galactic if I want to go into space?
If you want to go to space, we'll try to get you there.
Excellent. Excellent. Good answer. So what would be good advice for somebody who's a competitive shopper right now? What part of the world is on sale?
Right now I see a lot of Hawaii, I see a lot of Caribbean.
Okay.
Yesterday I was booking Russia. Russia has seemed to be picking up. It's just kind of depends on the person's dream.
Okay.
It starts there. It starts with a dream. It starts with a bucket list.
Excellent. Good answer. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right, I'm back. Tell me a story.
Oh, well, I was just talking about, do you remember the plant farm here in Aloha?
I do. It's like right over there.
Yeah, and way back when they had it for sale, because the Texaco, well, I found out later. Anyway, I found out the plant farm was for sale, and I could actually purchase it for $1, but it had to be moved because I found out that Bales Thriftway had actually sold the land to Texaco so they can have a car wash. But what I wanted to do with the plant barn was turn it into a community center because if you remember, the silo had a spiral staircase in it to the second floor, and I thought it would be awesome for a library / community center because it was between the middle school and the high school, and kids were always hanging out at Bales, and it would have been just a great solution to a place where kids could hang out, they could be mentored, they could be helped with their homework, but I found out they had...
The general topic, Wally, now that we're rolling, is your book. I'd like you to tell me your elevator pitch on your book.
Okay. Okay.
Go.
Because of my experience at Ground Zero, being a law enforcement chaplain, and I came back and wanted to do something to let people know more about what chaplains do every day in their local community. And I wanted to do it through the window of 9/11. And so that's why I wrote it. I contacted a bunch of the guys I worked with, and they helped me with material for the book. And also, it's a book to help people understand the importance of volunteerism, whether it's on a big national scene or in our own local community. And so that's another purpose. And the third one was to offer a message of hope. And hopefully, that's what people will take away when they read the book. And so I encourage them to do so.
Perfect.
Hi to the camera.
You're live. What are you doing here?
We're selling books.
Really?
Raising money for the library.
Is this exciting?
It is. Very much so. People are very appreciative of what they see here. I think it's a great book sale. Everything's very well organized. Got lots of comments.
What do each of you think the library will bring to the community?
A cohesiveness of people in our neighborhood, because we really don't have a neighborhood, so we have something where people can meet.
It's going to put Aloha on the map.
Excellent. Those are some good answers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here. Nice. So, Karen Scouten, what you doing here?
Well, I'm here to help people register to vote, or if they've moved, they need to update their address, or if they want to change their party, they can register here.
And you have a kind of a famous husband. Who would that be?
Well, I've been married to Dick for 36 years.
What does Dick do?
He's the county commissioner for District 1 for Aloha, Beaverton, and Cooper Mountain.
Excellent. Well, both of you do a lot of volunteer work, including this. What changes do you see happening in Aloha?
Well, the library is the biggest one, and I think it's going to be a fabulous community center for Aloha, focal point, besides the wonderful use of books and other media.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, you could call it a more inspiration and spirituality. Well, I went where it said New Age. There was not a whole lot.
Chuck. Thinking these big buff dude names. Rock.
Wave hi.
They've got like all different.
Hi.
I was going to.
Eric, make sure you get Hazel down.
You guys want to talk to me?
Sure, what do you want to know?
You can play it to her, I don't know.
Okay. Tell me about the Nature Mobile program.
Sure. Well, the Nature Mobile program is an outreach program, and it's for kids and adults who are trying to connect environmental science to in their natural parks and schools and communities. So during the summertime, we'll go to parks and schools and libraries and do events. Each week it's a different program. So last week it was mammals. This coming week it's going to be the water cycle and soil. And we have lots of crafts and hands-on activities and games. It's a thematic unit, so it's very integrated for the theme, and it's very educational.
Where do you bring this program to?
Well, different events. So we'll go to concerts and the parks, the Bug Fest. Lots of community events that are doing, similar things to this, just so we can reach more people and get them involved and make them more aware of the Nature Mobile.
What does THPRD stand for?
Oh gosh, that is Tualatin Hills Parks Recreation Department.
Nice. Nice. And did you paint this truck behind you by hand?
I did. It took me a whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. It's actually a sticker.
Really?
It is.
Wow.
It is. And our old ranger that used to work for the nature park actually took the photo of the deer that you can't see. And then there's a dragonfly on the back, and that was a patron who had taken that photo. And they just blew it up.
Can you tell me if the skunk pelt stinks?
It does not stink.
Really?
Really. You could try. You could smell it if you want to and give it a try.
Okay. Excellent. Where are you going to be next?
Well, tomorrow, tomorrow we're not going anywhere. Monday, we're going to be at Commonwealth Park from 12 to 3. So we go to various parks throughout the week. Every day it's a different day. So we go to 2 locations every day. And if you go to the website, the thprd.org, you can type in Nature Mobile in the search engine, and it will tell you, where we're at, what we're teaching, and what we're doing.
There we go. What are you doing here?
We are selling cinnamon rolls, only $1.50.
Okay.
Coffee, 50 cents, and t-shirts for only $7. We have coupons here that you can take as many of. And we have our calendar for all of our specials and buffets. Our seafood buffet comes back on August 3rd.
So what's the name of the restaurant?
The Pepper Mill.
Really?
It's just right down there.
Excellent. And what kind of food do you sell?
Oh, everything. Our breakfast is insanely good. That's what everyone comes in for. Just the usual, like sandwiches, wraps, burgers, and then we have our dinner specials. And every Thursday we have beef stew and cornbread.
Wow.
Just super, super good.
Wow. You guys busy a lot?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always. There's always people in there. I've never been working and not had something to do.
Excellent.
But it's fun. It's super fun. And our customers are awesome.
That's a good sales pitch.
Question and the answer?
That's a good prompt.
Where is this going to end up?
Everywhere you'll find embarrassing.
Okay, good. That's a good answer.
We had so much fun with
this. And it was hilarious. At one point, Heather, and I just Heather around. Ferguson got a bunch of
So let me just ask you about.
It was like little wooden yo-yos and things like that. And Erin was at a family day and she took the back and she went around. Just there we go. 6-year-old or 5-year-old.
That's a good shot. So tell me, Beth, what's your job title at the Washington County Museum?
My name is Beth Dean. I'm the Education and Folk Life Coordinator at the Washington County Museum.
Okay, and what's your mission for the museum?
We are trying to interpret the local history and culture of Washington County, and we're really expanding right now. Instead, we used to be a historical society, and we're really pushing the focus to become more culturally centric. So including arts, folklore, and different topics like that.
What are some of the challenges you find?
I think at this point, we're in the process of moving the face of our museum to downtown Hillsborough, which is exciting because we need to be more accessible for people. And I think just letting people know that we have a fantastic research library, lots of education programs, getting our education programs on site is going to be a big deal. So I think right now access, because we have a fantastic organization, we want people to come out and make sure that they're using our resources.
What are some of the unique things that are in your collection?
Ooh, in our collection, well, we have, I mainly work with the oral history collection, so we have over 300 hours of interviews since 1970 with different people in the community. Man, the collection, we have a lot of Kalapuya baskets for Native American. We have tons of pioneer objects. Right now there's a giant, we call it the fondue pot. It's like this enormous, I don't even know how to describe how big it is, maybe like 5 foot across pot that we use for making cheese. So we have some really cool objects like that in our collection that you don't see, it's behind the scenes, but we're going to be able to bring those out and use a lot of them.
What kind of historical documents, like paper products, do you guys have?
We have maps, we have manuscripts, we have scrapbooks that have been collected over time. What else do we have? Papers from different political people. We also have local newspapers, but I couldn't tell you which one off the top of my head. So we have collections going back quite a long time.
What sort of items would you want to see donated to the Washington County Museum?
Ooh, that is the question for our curator, but I think really unique objects. Right now, one thing we're looking for is more culturally diverse objects, so we're looking for things that relate to Mexican history in this region because we have such a large Mexican population, and we know that that's a really important part of our community. Certainly, just I think unique things for this area, and we have a lot of agricultural stuff, but we're always adding to that as well.
What sort of unique items are in your collection that you think, dear God, why are we collecting that?
Are we collecting this?
Something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
That's my idea for now.
I don't know how to answer that one.
That's all right. What surprised you in your collection? When you go hunting through the collection, what is that light bulb moment that says, wow, I never thought?
You know, and I'm still relatively new to this area, so what was interesting to me was the large amount of technology history that we have. So we have oscilloscopes, we have computers, which makes sense because we're the Silicon Forest, but to me that was surprising because we mostly see the agricultural history, and like balancing those two is kind of big.
Excellent. Good job. Thank you. Feel like you're put on the spot?
Yeah.
I can tell you something that's amazing about the collection.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, proud father of the #1 football
Tell me something amazing about the collection.
Oh, I can tell you something very amazing about the collection. We have in the Washington County Museum 600 original glass slides of negatives of photographs taken by William Finley, who I think he died in the 50s, but he was very big in the 30s and 40s, and he actually is one of the founders of the Audubon Society, and there are two or three state parks named after him, as well as a big nature preserve. And we have these amazing images that were donated by the original president of PCC years and years ago, and we're not real sure how we got these. We're trying to research it to find out how they came to the museum. We know who donated them, but we want to know how he got them. And so our plan is to do an exhibition around these wonderful photographs, probably going to be happening in January.
Excellent.
So all we need to do is raise a little bit more money, as always.
And
This is who's
Barbara,
going to be the
tell me
speaker.
your role in the Washington County Museum.
Oh, I'm on the board. I'm the board secretary, and my role is wildly enthusiastic supporter. The museum is going to be expanding to the Hillsborough Civic Center in the fall, and
12 to 2.
it's just going to be so exciting to have 12,000 square feet of exhibition space instead of 1,000 square feet. So that's going to be just wonderful. We have so many items in storage that we have never been able to exhibit, or just exhibit one little thing instead of the whole collection. And we're going to have some really great permanent collections once we get it all set up. It'll probably take a year once we get over there in order to get all the exhibits built and get things set up, but it's pretty exciting. Our first, did I mention our first exhibit is going to be from NASA?
No.
Oh, our first exhibit is a NASA exhibit, and it's images from the Hubble telescope, and it'll probably be opening in November. It's going to be a killer exhibit, just dynamite. 3,000 square feet of outer space. We'll be saying, come to Washington County and see outer space.
So where's the Hillsborough location when that opens?
The Hillsborough location is the Civic Center. It's right across the street from the courthouse. You know, you go up those steps to the city offices, and we are to the right on the second floor, above Starbucks.
Excellent.
Everybody knows where Starbucks is, right? All 25,000 of them.
Carol just mentioned the history. They were saying.
Good job.
So
what?
More complex, but
You are on, Eric.
I am. So I'm going to tell you a story. Hi, my name's Eric. I'm a volunteer with the Aloha Community Library Association. And we're here on July 14th, 2012, having a book sale. It's one of several book sales, and what we're doing is raising money to get a library open in Aloha. A really neat task. So Doug, be a good interviewer. Ask me a question.
So Eric, what's the most fun about being part of the library?
The people. It's the people that we're doing it for. It's the people that make the difference. And it's for the future and the people of the future. Literacy, inclusion, building community. That's what we're doing. That's fun.
And how soon are we going to be opening?
Well, it looks kind of like we're open right now, but the pivot is we have transitioned to be a service provider. We are providing children's story time right now. We're about to move forward into branding our books for checkout with barcodes and stickers, and really taking the next step at fulfilling our desire and our obligation to the community, and that's to push forward with meeting the Washington County Cooperative Library Services mandates in order for us to be included in the WCCLS system. That's the next goal.
Thanks, Eric. Great job.
Cool.
He's in the book, well, as you know. You've read the book, or have the book.
So, Pat, tell me about Packy and Me.
Packy and Me is a book written by Michelle Trappin and told to her by both my husband and I about the first elephant born in captivity in 44 years at what is now the Oregon Zoo in 1962. And not only does he tell the story of the birth of Packy, but the history of the zoo going back to the 50s into almost the current time of the zoo, which is now the Oregon Zoo. Plus, in his life, he did a lot of other things, including having his own business and flying his own plane and building boats and going on research projects in the Bering Sea and working with whales and a lot of other animals. His life was literally dedicated to animals, and when he had a practice in the early 60s and late 50s, he had over 7,000 clients, and he made house calls in addition to working all day in the clinic. So when the zoo was ready for a full-time vet at the old zoo, they called and asked him if he would come to the old zoo and be a part-time vet, and then he became the full-time zoo at in those days, 1962, 61, became the first nice zoo, and is also one of the oldest zoos west of the Mississippi River. So there's lots of history that we've told, and we've told about the other people that contributed to the success of the animals, including Morgan Berry, who initially owned Belle, Tongla, and another little female elephant by the name of Pet. And they were the residents that were here, including 2 elephants from the old zoo, when Packy was born. When Packy was born in 1962, there was no information, either professionally or written or from overseas, available as to the gestation period, or how long she would carry the baby, or what the behavior would be. And she played this little trick where she began false labor in January of 1962, but Packy was not born until April 14th, 1962. And so that led to a lot of sleepless nights, and eventually not only he, but the press became permanent residents in the elephant barns, sleeping in the hay, and round-the-clock observation, because none of them truly knew when the baby would be born. Shana Alexander was one of the first female reporters for a major publication in those days, and she brought photographers from Life magazine and did several stories, and so she and my husband, Dr. Mayberry, became personal friends clear up to her death a few years ago. So it was an exciting time. People often asked me why was it such a big event that a baby elephant was being born. But when you look at the history of that time with the Vietnam War and all of the other not such happy good news, the world, not just Portland, but the world clung to the idea of a new baby and a new time and something to be positive about. And it truly, literally put Portland, Oregon on the map because of something so unique and touched the heart of so many people, both adults and children as well. Because Morgan owned the elephants and he wanted them to spend their lives in Portland because he knew that Matthew would give them great care, the city raised the money to buy the elephants, including the children contributing pennies and having fundraisers to have enough pennies to contribute their share in buying little Packy and his mother and father and Pat. It has been a joy to know Dr. Mayberry. It's been a pure pleasure to be his wife. We met in 1971. I was given a poodle puppy that was instructed it only could be treated by Dr. Mayberry. When I took it to the zoo by appointment, I thought he was the rudest man I'd ever met. I had no idea that 3.5 years later I would become his wife. And even though he was 25 years older than I, we truly were soulmates the 36 years we were married. So it's a great loss to have lost him in January, but I'm very pleased that we were able to finish the book and make it available to the public, that not only is his legacy, but of so many other people that contributed so much to the history of Oregon.
Pat, this book was the first checked out at the Aloha Library.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Both of us, especially Matthew, because our personal collection of books when we got married was probably close to 3,000 in our home. We've since donated many of those books, including he donated all of his medical books to Oregon State University's veterinarian library. When we heard what was going on in the community as far as the Aloha Community Library Committee working on literally opening a library, and how quickly and how dedicated the committee and the staff, not really staff, the members on the committee committed their time and effort to put this together, we felt it was the least we could do to participate in any way we could. And so when the official opening began, we felt it was the least we could do to contribute our book as the first book to be checked out. to the library, and the first donated book that is personally signed by the author that becomes part of the record of the library itself.
Excellent. Hey, Pat, would you maybe tell me a little bit about these pictures here?
Excuse me.
No worries.
You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Obviously, this is my husband, and I can't tell from this picture exactly what's in front of him. It wouldn't be surprised me if he was doing autographs at some point because of the situation here. This is the cover of our book. This is a copy of the invitation to the dedication of the book in February 25th, 2011. This is a picture, most women I know will truly appreciate this. He's conducting vaginal inspections of a pregnant female, and I'm sure any woman can relate to that particular situation. And he had to take his shirt off because you have to remember that's a big little female pregnant, and he has a long way to go to obtain what he needs. So this obviously was a successful completion of the elephant and the baby, and this made history because it was one of the very first true zoo hospitals in the country, and they just currently, in fact, his last public event in January was to attend the dedication and opening of the new Oregon Zoo Veterinarian Hospital. And he was so impressed that they had all of that room, considering that he had no room to house animals in here except very small animals. Different pictures of him. Once the baby was born, he literally became a celebrity of Portland, and he was asked to do all kinds of speaking engagements, which he did. I mentioned the cast of characters. And this was Jack Marks, the director of the zoo. Without his help, they would have never been able to raise the money for a bond measure that raised the money to build a new zoo in 1962. Marlo Ditterbrand was one of the first female physicians in Portland, but found that it was very challenging in those days to have a practice with a female doctor. Portland wasn't quite ready for that yet. She eventually volunteered and later then worked at the zoo doing all the pathology work that now so many. This is Morgan Berry, who, as I mentioned, was an animal importer, one of the most fascinating people I've ever met. He was an animal importer, but he also had his own farm in Woodland, Washington, called Elephant Mountain, and he housed his own herd of elephants. He had a herd of 11 elephants, and plus he raised many babies that he imported on his own. Packy's mother, Belle, was imported by Morgan when she was 2 months old and lived in the same house with he and his wife and 4 children, literally slept in the basement next to the bunk beds of the boys, and then would sneak up the stairs in the middle of the night to Morgan and his wife's bedroom because Morgan kept sweet little treats for her. So when she got restless at night, he could feed her, then she would go back down the stairs and go to bed.
What an awkward situation, an elephant climbing upstairs?
Absolutely. She never messed or destroyed anything, and she literally would follow them around to such an extent that she would pull their shoes off in the back because she was that close behind them. He owned a great big huge pink Cadillac convertible, and when they would go on rides, Belle would sit in the back and wrap her trunk around his neck in great glee of being out in this convertible going for a ride, and you can imagine that stopped traffic pretty quickly. It was only when she became too big to get into the door that they decided that she had to live in the backyard before he took her and Tom-Law to Woodland Park Zoo. And they performed up there, but he brought the animals down here in the wintertime because he met Matthew and discovered that it was a very good match for the elephants to be under his care.
You know, well, no, you have to do everything yourself. You won't accept any help, will you? Yeah, look at her. Yes, that's you.
Would you put that in a donation jar for me?
Are you sure?
I'm not taking any money from him. I feel bad taking it from you, but
No.
I'm feeling bad. I'm interviewing a poodle.
she is on page. Oh, I think
Look this way.
with this photograph. That's her picture.
Really? I see the difference. I see the difference. How cute.
And then I'll release your wife. She's
Yeah, we gotta
she's
go to
done
the zoo.
she's done her time.
My stint.
So tie a yellow ribbon around it over there.
So Mike, tell me what you're doing here.
Well, this is just one more opportunity to come out and engage the community in this 3-year process. So, as you well are aware, being there is one of the key elements to any project and community engagement. And these kinds of opportunities provide that just that chance to talk to people that haven't been involved. And the number of people we've talked to already today have all said, well, no, I wasn't aware, but once we started asking them some questions, they walked away saying, I want to be involved because this is my community.
Excellent. What have you learned today?
Well, I've learned that there's a big sense of community in Aloha. People want to be known as Aloans. One person said that they drive down TV Highway and they don't know when Aloha starts and ends, and they want to know that. So, maybe a bigger sign or something to make it possible. And another lady was saying that she was talking on the phone to somebody about, she's giving them her address, and she said Aloha, and they said, well, give me your zip code, and the zip code told them that it was Beaverton. And she didn't like that. She wanted it to be, wanted to say that she lived in Aloha. So there's a big sense of community here that I'm learning is even more important than I thought before.
Excellent. Thanks for being here.
I know.
Nervous
They
as
make
they
you
make
swear.
you.
I was in the commercial, so even though it's so funny, because it's like.
So Erin,
I'm
if we get really nervous, we're going to have a hand signal. We're going to go scissors, and that means we just take over for us.
Yeah.
What if I say something stupid? I'm not nervous, but you know how I scissors.
Or just like cut. Snip.
Tell me about the voice.
Okay, looks like it's a collection of students' work from Aloha High School. So it promotes literacy. There's so much I could say about it, but I really don't know where to start. I like it because it's fun.
Okay. What did you write?
I didn't write anything in this year's. I wrote something last year.
Show me last year's. Tell me about what you wrote last year.
Last year I wrote, I don't really know why I wrote it. I was just sitting at my computer listening to music, and I came up with a title, and then I just kind of went from there.
So when you're writing, do you put on a 6-foot-tall chicken costume and use the
Yes.
beak to poke at a laptop,
Yes.
and then the output is
Pretty much.
okay, great.
That's what I do.
And do you get neck pain and have to take breaks as you're pecking at the computer keyboard?
No, because I've got this fancy neck pillow. I'm just kidding.
Excellent.
No, I'm just joking. My computer's actually like this, so I'm looking straight at it. So I don't have to
Okay.
no.
So do you put the claws of your chicken costume
Yeah.
up on? Okay.
And it kind of comes out all jumbled, but then I take the gloves off and I go through my edit and put them back on and I submit. Oh wait, it didn't save. Whoops.
Figure out if you laid an egg or not.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, excellent. So, what's the name of your submission from last year's voice?
I don't remember it. Let me find it.
It's out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind. It was. I want to say it was. My name. Wait. Okay. I just gotta find my name. This is taking way too long. We should have planned this out beforehand.
Jody, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Cool.
I'd like you to tell me What's the worst grammatical error you had to point out to a student in the process of either copy of The Voice?
Well, you know, the way that the process works, we actually don't. We ask for a finalized piece, and if it's too grammatically incorrect, we send it back with suggestions. But mostly the editing, that kind of editing is done by our editor. So she goes through and fixes those little things in order to get it print ready.
So spell check in Microsoft Office products isn't...
We definitely do spell check. Some students don't, but they do when we send it back. We didn't have to send any back this year. We got a lot of really crisp revisions. Can you think of anything that you ran into that was a serious grammar mistake?
No, their punctuation was okay. I didn't change anything that changed the meaning of it. Oh my gosh, sorry. What I did, there was one. Sorry. That bugs me. What did I?
That's Ken Yarnell.
I think that there are so many. I don't think we had any particularly funny revisions.
Just basic stuff like capitalization of nouns.
Yeah, we did have. We had one piece where there were hardly any periods, and it was all commas, but nothing really funny.
There's a rumor going about Aloha High School that this was not allowed to be pressed in hardback because it was thrown around a lot. And that the students that were not in the voice program were concerned about the sharp corners and it being used as a weapon, and that with the zero tolerance aspect of Aloha High School. Yes or no, is there any truth to that rumor?
No.
I'd like to say there is, but might make it more entertaining.
In terms of quality, tell me what happened from last year to this year. Do you think things got better? Were they more fluid and smooth, or what was the big transition that you guys noticed?
You know, we did every year we have a new goal, okay? Because it's such a big job that if we were to take everything we wanted to change and add it in, it probably would not happen.
Okay.
So we had a few goals this year, which I'll let them expand upon, but money is always our biggest struggle.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw that out
Is
there.
that why you've got the Kleenex out?
Yeah.
Yes, it's emotional.
Okay.
It's an emotional process.
Very needy for money?
Yes.
Many people are.
This year, to get our brains working, we decided we were going to do a creative writing competition and highlight those in the magazine. So we do have creative writing. What else?
We have art submissions.
Art submissions.
Poetry, but that's kind of creative.
Yeah. What else? We just have like photography.
We had a competition for the cover in order to make it go more with the theme of the Lit Mag.
Tell me a story.
Let me think. Okay, I remember this one time when somebody submitted this piece of work, and I remember everyone in the club was making fun of it because it was so dramatic, and I remember everyone reading it aloud and saying that it didn't make any sense.
Was that true?
Took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
They weren't reading it.
Yeah.
So are feelings easily hurt when you're critiquing each other's work?
Not if you don't just detach yourself. Just look at it from our point of view.
Okay.
We really try in Lit Mag. One of the main themes within it that I'm always telling to the students is you're not looking at it as something you like.
Okay.
Because we all have different tastes in writing. You're looking at it as what is the author trying to accomplish and have they done that? So when we critique a piece of work, although it sounds like one that didn't happen, we try to look at it as far away from our own personal opinions as we can. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you think that there's enough inertia at Aloha High School to get this to carry forward from year to year? Do you think it's kind of like teetering? Is it gaining traction? What are you thinking?
I think it's a process because some kids think that if they buy one or if they just kind of come up to us and talk about it, their friends might laugh at them. But it's not anything to laugh about if you're environment. Like I'm fine just going out and selling it and telling people, hey, you need to buy this and support it because your friends are in it and your fellow students are in it. And
We have plans for next year. You know, the school district has a lot of budget cuts. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that. I think the students will keep it alive no matter what happens.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Do you think there are students in Aloha that are just too stupid to read?
No. Absolutely not.
So everybody can have.
Cool, so they don't do it.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be with the budget cuts? The thing you guys are going to miss most about that's going away with the budget cuts?
Teacher support.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers are losing their jobs.
When you want to put your other board hat on, we got hats down here.
Okay.
We'll be down here when you're ready.
We'll do. Be down there shortly. What are you going to miss? Librarians? Books? Time at school?
I'm in the position right now as a new teacher, so it's hard for me to answer that. I may or may not have a job next year, so I might be missing a job.
Wow.
If I'm there, what I would miss is having the time to work with students because class sizes are going up so much. I'm really not going to be able to have the same fluid group work, fun activities because the classroom isn't going to be able to be maintained with those activities. And as a teacher, I won't be able to give as many assessments or, you know, there's just, the class size is going to be too big. What about you guys, student perspective?
If budget cuts, I'm gonna miss not getting funded by the school. You know what I mean? Like not having principal or people in the school be able to lend us money. Like maybe photography club, they might not be able to lend us any more money.
Where would I find children's books?
I'm back.
Great answers. Thank you, folks.
Thanks.
Do with social
He's gonna
media.
auto-tune those cards.